Another thing that you find within high control groups is that they follow dogmatic doctrine, which is ultimately teachings that you're not allowed to question, and it's based on an authority instead of actual evidence. So there's this authority figure that tells you something and that you have to accept it without question. So of course, one of the reasons why people find SCJ very convincing is because the majority of the people that they recruit are already Christian, and they accept the Bible as an authority. And anything that will be taught from the Bible, they will accept as the truth. Of course, I don't hold that view, but I know that most people do. But also, when you look at the way that SCJ tends to teach the Bible, is that they take a very shallow approach. If you had to compare them doctrine-wise to kind of more sophisticated theologians or Christian scholars, is SCJ doesn't look at the etymology of the words in the Bible. They don't look at the origin of the words. They don't go and look at the Hebrew and the Greek. They don't go and look at the historical context and the literary context. Right. They tend to see those things as useless because from SCJ's point of view, the Bible is written in mostly figurative language, and that even the people that wrote it didn't understand its true meaning. So there's no point to try to look at its original context because the people that wrote it didn't understand it either. This is not about all the contents, but specifically the prophecies in the Bible. And of course, another thing that you find within high control groups is that their doctrine tends to be untestable. And what that means is that it cannot be proven or disproven with evidence. So one of the examples that SCJ will perhaps follow is that if there's something that happens, let's say, for example, they do something and things work out according to their goals, they will say that that is the work of the Holy Spirit. And if things don't work out according to those goals, if things go bad, they will say that is the work of the evil spirit. So they can essentially label anything that benefits them as God or their God or the Holy Spirit, and anything that goes bad is then the evil spirit. But this is not something that can actually be tested. You can't actually confirm this. So this is actually an example of an untestable idea. It's the same as the way that when people leave SCJ, they will sometimes tell you when you leave that your life will get like really, really bad. It'll be really bad. But then your life turns out good. And then they will tell you, okay, no, but that's actually from the devil as well. Because what the devil, he wants you to have a good life so you can be sucked in by the things of the world. So it's like, regardless of what happens, it's always evil, it's always wrong. And that's once again an example of something that's untestable. There's no way to be wrong. So because high control groups tend to follow untestable teachings, not all of it, but some of it, it makes it very difficult to have rational discussions with them. So like if you demand evidence, what they tend to do is that they shift the burden of proof onto those that criticize them. And this is a common thing that I get when I criticize them. They will tell me to disprove what they believe. But many of the stuff that they believe is untestable. At least from my point of view, my worldview, I can't disprove many of the claims that they make. But that doesn't mean that there's a good reason to believe that there is a good reason that what they believe is true to begin with. So a common thing that they do is they shift the burden of proof and they want you to disprove what they believe, but you can't because it's untestable. And then they think because you can't disprove it, they're justified in believing what they believe, which obviously is not the case.